Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Locally, supporters of Palestinians caught up in the conflict are banding together, calling for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. Hundreds of Tasmanians took to the streets as violence escalates in Gaza.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
A message of action and urgency, calling for peace, calling for an end to the carnage.
Entire families have been wiped out, and we shouldn't be allowing this to happen in 2023. Hundreds
standing in solidarity, banding together, united as they march through the streets.
From the river to the sea! Palestine to the sea!
Each chant more desperate for action.
Their supporters who are very concerned about the situation over in Gaza at the moment.
What's going on is wrong. Collective punishment is wrong.
Making their voices heard.
It didn't happen in a bubble. It's been going on for 75 years. It's not acceptable. It has to stop.
Stepping up the fight to end the terror unfolding before their eyes.
The community is in agony, anguish, pain. The community cannot find a taste for the food they eat.
Watching on, desperate to do anything they can to help.
People are having problems sleeping at night or nightmares. This is here, 20,000 kilometres away. Imagine if you were in the middle of the events.
As tensions reach new boiling points in Gaza today, supporters here on the ground are growing even more desperate. They're vowing to keep rallying until a resolution is found, keeping a close eye on the escalating situation.
We will continue every weekend. This is about education. It's not about hate.
Victoria Esto, 7 Tasmania News.
From Wednesday, new rules will be in place to help protect stocks of Tasmania's favourite fish. The bag limit for sand flathead will be just 2 in some regions, with commercial fishers blocked entirely.
With concerns about dwindling stocks, the ministers made a big call on sand flathead.
We know that fishing is part of the Tasmanian way of life, but the science has given us a really clear warning that we have to pull back.
In April this year, a review was called, with the bag limit immediately lowered from 20 to 10. Now it's been slashed even further in some parts of the state. In the D'Entrecasteaux Channel, Derwent River, Norfolk and Frederick Henry Bays, the new bag limit is just 2. In the east, it's set at 5. Elsewhere, it remains at 10. The minimum size has also been raised to 35 centimetres. There's a maximum size of 40 centimetres everywhere but King Island and the Furneaux Group.
We've spoken to hundreds and hundreds of fishers from Smithton to Southport, and they all believe in sustainable fisheries management.
And we do understand that the mum and dad who are out there fishing, we don't want them to stop this activity, but we want people to be responsible in the way they go around it.
Commercial fishers have been banned from taking any sand flathead at all.
We know that this has the potential to be difficult perhaps, and an adjustment for some commercial fishers.
Seafood Industry Tasmania has called it a slap in the face to small family businesses who take a small volume of sand flathead to support their livelihoods. There's around 100,000 recreational fishers in Tasmania. 70% of them are catching flathead.
This popularity is what's part of the problem now, where we've seen the stock move to a depleted state.
The new rules come into place on November 1 and will be reviewed in 2 years. There's also minor changes for other scalefish, with a review of calamari fisheries next year. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The latest ship set to join the Spirit of Tasmania fleet has tasted the sea for the first time. Spirit 4 has officially been named and launched at its shipyard in Finland, where Rama Shipbuilders opened the valves on the dry dock. The newest vessel, destined for Bass Strait, was also christened with a touch of Tasmania, with a ceremonial cracking of a bottle of Jance. Deborah Granger, the wife of Spirit of Tasmania's chairman, was on hand to perform the honour and is now the ship's official godmother. Tasmanian traders are busy preparing for the largest craft fair in the Southern Hemisphere, with 30 stallholders from the Salamanca market set to show off their creations to thousands of attendees in Deloraine. Everything from handcrafted jewellery to woodwork set to be on display.
It's a fantastic opportunity for those stallholders to showcase their wares at the other end of the state and to different audience as well.
One of the good things about going to something like Deloraine is you just get all of that feedback from customers, and so some of my products have evolved because of feedback.
The Tasmanian Craft Fair runs for 4 days from Friday. The Premiership Party is kicking on for some mad Pies supporters. Excited Collingwood fans were given the chance to get up close and personal to the Cup in Launceston and even meet fan favourite Bobby Hill. The Magpie Army proudly showing off their colours alongside the Norm Smith medalist, who's still basking in Premiership glory.
It still hasn't really kicked in yet. It was like obviously a childhood dream coming true. Like I didn't know where to celebrate.
The grand final day hero is already eyeing off next September, saying back-to-back has a nice ring to it. There was a rumble in the Derwent Valley today for a good cause, with the classic Ford Club embarking on its southern cruise. The journey raising awareness of gynecological cancers and funds to fight it. Ford enthusiast Kim Housego's wife died in 2018 with ovarian cancer.
There's a lot more that needs to be done, and so yeah, we're happy to put it out there as much as we can, make people aware of what is happening.
The statistics are horrendous. 7,000 Australians every year diagnosed with a gynecological cancer. Ovarian cancer, for example.
Tasmanian charity She is hoping to fund a wellness centre near the Royal Hobart Hospital for women diagnosed with gynecological cancers. Animal lovers turned out in force to show their love for their furry friends. One of Australia's best known animal experts was on hand at Hobart's Pet Expo, while the show's annual pet parade saw dogs, cats and everything in between dress for success.
Two peas in a pod, Bubbles and Tinkerbell claiming Hobart's best dressed pets for the second year in a row, going up against some worthy competition.
You can see they're very spoilt.
The pair just one of many taking to centre stage today as Prince's Wharf played host to this year's Tasmanian Pet Expo.
I love that dog. I love all the animals. I love all the animals here.
The day seeing more competitions, treats and animals of all shapes and sizes on show. A familiar face providing some important advice about responsible pet ownership.
I'm always worried about the way children react to dogs. They always want to run up and put their arms around them and give them a hug. You know, most dogs don't like being hugged.
While those looking for a family continue their search for a forever home.
The mother cat left and she monitored the situation for a little while and she never came back. These guys got cold, hungry.
Guide Dogs Tasmania, one of many calling for help to continue giving all animals the best possible life.
We are looking for volunteers across all of our roles of short-term care or long-term care of our beautiful puppies here.
Experts are warning pet owners to take extra precautions as we head into summer. So our furry friends like Paddy here stay happy and healthy. Not leaving pets in hot cars and making sure they have access to water if you're not home. Some vital tips. While for some of our more uncommon animals, some sage advice from Dr. Harry.
Right, don't stand in front of a tranquilised rhinoceros because they're not tranquilised. They take off after you. And the advice is find a tree and hide behind it.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers have been handed their first home loss of the season. Despite finishing fast, the squad was left with too much to do after United controlled the bulk of the game.
Freaky fans filled My State Bank Arena looking to spook ladder leaders Melbourne United, and Anthony Drimmick had Chris Goulding on edge, getting the steal before the ball found Jordan Crawford for an open three. The Red Hot Jackies would soon be reeled in though, Tasmanian Tanner Krebs helping pull Melbourne back level by the end of the first, while Melbourne found scoring on the bench. But as the second half began, the Jack Jumpers were thrust into a nightmare thanks to a red-hot Ian Clark.
Clark is doing whatever he likes.
United up 16 midway through the third. A late charge from the Jack Jumpers gave some hope.
They will not go away.
10 points in 45 seconds brought the margin back to 4.
The turnover here would make things interesting. Jack Jumpers come on the ball. What is going on?
But it wasn't to be. The Jack Jumpers taking their first home loss by 8 points. A loss to a potential finals rival, no worry for Coach Roth.
Not particularly, no. It's just a game at the end of the day for me. I don't get stressed out about it one way or another. I've been just doing this too long.
Pointing the finger at shot selection and rebounding. United with 45 boards to Tassie's 29.
Rebounding just in general is not anything more than a want. There's no cure for being a poor rebounder other than the fact that you need to be wanting the ball more than someone else.
A meeting with the Bullets in Brisbane awaits them tomorrow afternoon. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
And Tasmania still has its work cut out for it to avoid a crushing Sheffield Shield defeat. The Tigers' Day 3 hopes were short-lived, losing their final first innings wicket early in the day.
And he's out, caught a first slip. Another Tasmanian batter succumbs to a catch behind the wicket. He'll be disappointed with that, Webster.
Queensland then charging to a commanding 202 runs in its second innings, boosted by the unexpected but welcome return of Michael Nesser. Tassie needs 344 runs to win. The Tassie Tigers have suffered 2 heartbreaking losses at the Queensland State Hockey Centre, both sides going down to the Brisbane Blaze in their round 4 matches. The Brizzy men's side put 5 points on the board. The Tigers unable to keep up, finishing the game with 0, while the women's side were at least able to score 3 thanks to Jade Smith and Felita Bradley.
The Brisbane Blaze, and what a time to get your first goal against your former side, and can she get her second? Oh! Yes! Tassie have hit the front.
The final score 3-9. And finally, 5 of Tasmania's sporting legends are vying to be named this year's Athlete of the Year, following outstanding performances in their respective fields. Canoeist Kate Eckhart, cycling's Georgia Baker and Tasmanian Queen of the Pool Ariane Titmus are some of those up for the awards. Our official Tasmanian Athlete of the Year will be named at the end of next month.
Good evening. 20 in Hobart today, 17 across Launceston, Devonport and Burnie. 21 was the state's top in King Island, Smithton and Flinders Island 18 and 17 in Strawn. On the close-up, high cloud is seen streaming over Tasmania. Further out shows a band of middle and high-level cloud moving over southeastern Australia. Tomorrow, a cold front is weakening as it moves east of Tasmania, with another cold front approaching the state from the west. Northwesterly winds tomorrow 15 to 25 knots, swells up to 3 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A gale warning is current for the southwest coast, a strong wind warning for Flinders Island, the east coast and central west coast, and a warning to sheep graziers for the southeast forecast districts. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart 20, partly cloudy across Richmond and Ouse. In the north, Launceston 18, Devonport and Deloraine reaching 16. Burnie tomorrow is looking partly cloudy and 15 for the Burnie 10. Strawn, showers increasing, 16 in Curry. St Helens, mostly sunny, Swansea 20 and Whitemark, mostly sunny and 18. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Monday, showers about the north and west extending statewide during the morning. Tuesday, showers across the west and south with possible hail in the morning. And Wednesday, fine apart from light showers in the west. Capital cities 22 and partly cloudy in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide mostly sunny and 26 in Sydney. And currently Hobart, partly cloudy and 18, Launceston mostly cloudy and Devonport mostly cloudy and 14. And for those running in the Burnie 10 tomorrow, it's looking like the weather will hold off for some good running conditions, Lou.
And that's all your news for this Saturday. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Good night.